This is the real truth about the Bermuda Triangle. All of the theories you have been told are wrong.
People say the sun is yellow. No, it's not. It's white. If the sun were yellow, just think this through. If the sun were yellow, then in broad daylight, snow would be yellow. But generally, it's not, all right?
So Saudi Arabia just experienced another horrible storm and they experienced severe flooding, and look what the results were. Fish is falling out of that sky. Why is that fish so soft like that?
Hello, hi guys, I'm back with yet another video. If you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe, and let's dive right into the video.
The largest tree in the world, located in northeast Wyoming, is a towering volcanic edifice called Devil's Tower. This ancient rock contains hexagonal columns that rise 867 feet above the surrounding landscape. It is part of an ancient volcano whose origins were, until recently, disputed. The rock tower does look spectacular, but since it is made entirely of rock, it is not really the stump of an old tree. Nevertheless, it still attracts many people's interest and visits. As for climbing to the top of this tower, it depends on the individual's interest and courage. Climbing to the top of the tower may require a certain amount of physical strength and skill, but there are also safety factors to consider. If you are interested in adventure and climbing, and have enough preparation and ability, then climbing to the top of the tower can be an exciting and memorable experience. However, for those who have no climbing experience or don't like heights, just admiring the appearance of the tower and the surrounding scenery is also a good option. Have you ever been here?
That actually looks like a petrified tree.
So tell me what's wrong. What's wrong, buddy? Talk to me. What happened?
Can I wipe my nose and
Yeah.
Can I do my nose and you do my tears?
Yeah. Okay.
Give me a tissue and then
Okay. What you're talking about? We passed away. Who passed away? What are you talking about, baby?
the river made us pass away.
The river did?
Yes.
The river made me and you pass away?
Yes.
A long time ago?
Yes. And now we're back.
Okay. And you got that from Scenic Relaxation and AK.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So, we died. Is that what you said?
No, I passed away.
Okay.
No, we didn't do that. We just passed away.
In the river?
Yes.
Okay. And why do you feel like that?
Because I passed away in the river.
By yourself?
With you.
Oh, with me?
Yes.
I was with you?
I want to pass away again.
You are?
I want to again.
You want to again?
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't want to be here.
You don't want to be here?
No.
Why?
Same.
Why don't you want to be here?
I will come back soon.
You will come back soon?
I will come back here soon as...
Grace and honey, what are you talking about? Baby, you've got to calm down. And what made you say all that? What made you say that story?
It was a story.
It's not? Okay, let's not want to pass away no more, okay?
Why?
Because Mommy would be so sad.
Did you want to pass away with me?
I will go anywhere with you, buddy.
Why?
Because I'll never leave you alone. Ever. I'm always going to be here for you, okay? Okay?
Will you pass away for me?
I sure would. I sure would, dude. I sure would. Nah. It's okay. Let's not have such a sad talk. Let's have happy talk. I just don't understand what made you think of this, buddy.
Wow, I mean, wow. Guys, I had to record this. Come, Daddy. Come. So,
You are telling me a very fascinating story, and I want you to tell me about your grandfather.
He gave me a present before he.
Your grandfather. Okay. So what happened to him? Why did he die?
Because he drank alcohol, like 5.
5 bottles of alcohol? Was he a drunkard? Did he always drink alcohol?
No. He just wanted to taste.
Okay. And did you guys live with anyone else or just your
Grandfather, only my grandfather. Even we meant grandma.
Did you guys have a grandma?
No.
Only you guys?
Yeah.
So
But I mean, no, we don't have a. He doesn't have a grandmother in his home.
okay. So just the 2 of you. Were there any other kids?
Nope, there were no kids in his home.
Okay. And what kind of home was it?
It was a farm, and then that house looked like a hotel, but it didn't look like a hotel. It was just with like that shape.
Okay. So it's a farm, like in the village?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which had a house.
Okay. Were there any animals there? People living there?
Yeah. There were animals.
What kind of animals?
Horses, cows, sheep, ducks, and chickens.
So he was a farmer?
And horses.
He was a farmer?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So the day that he died, how did you know that he had died?
I saw him drinking alcohol. I didn't notice, but I heard the grandfather calling me that I had to go away.
You had to go away.
That is interesting. So interesting.
So now, as your soul is transcending this planet, most souls look into the light. It's the only light they see. You know what I'm saying? And they taught you in religion to go into the light your whole life. So if you was a true believer and had faith in any religion, right? You gonna hold that in your soul, nigga. So when you see that light, nigga, you like, oh, that's heaven. You gonna float into that motherfucker, nigga. And they gonna got him, snatch your ass up, bring you in, put you in a little container like this with dark matter energy bolts around it to restrict your dark matter energy from leaving it. And then they take your soul and they bleach it of all its memories. And then they redirect it back down to this planet again because they know that once they come down here, you're going to step into a new avatar. All right? When women are pregnant, there is no life form in it. There's no life force, no soul is in that body until the water break. There's no soul in the body of that baby until the water break. When you pregnant and the baby, you think the baby moving, ain't the baby moving. Remember, you full of water. So any object underwater that's moving around is knocking against something. It's going to float and bang against shit. And these scientists didn't want to tell you the truth about you. They hid us from us because we the grand creators. So they got you thinking the whole time the baby is no. The soul, listen, the baby can't stay in you once the soul enter that body. That's why your water break. Goddess. Soon as that soul, that whole 9 months, your avatar is being used to grow the avatar of that new soul. Your avatar, all right, is being used, and his is being used to create a new avatar. You're preparing a new avatar for a new soul to drive in while it's in this realm, this reality. All right? Because you can't walk in this reality with your astral body. It's rules to the universe, nigga.
Facts.
As above, so below. It's laws to every realm in reality. Just like you can't take this body into the physical realm. You got to take your astral body. All right?
Wow. Do not go to the light, y'all. It's a trap. And actually, Jesus has talked about it, where he says that those who interpret these words, something like that, they will not see. So I interpret that in the sense of reincarnation and you trying to escape that trap of reincarnating back.
This is how long it takes to reincarnate after death. So in order to understand when and where we reincarnate, I have to explain a little bit about the process of death and rebirth. So stick with me here. So we are these large, vast energy beings. We're omnipresent. We exist everywhere in all planes of existence in all dimensions. And when we incarnate into the physical dimension, it's like we only project a portion of our energy here into the physical body. The rest of who we are is non-physical, existing everywhere. And when the body dies, we withdraw our energy from the physical body back into the non-physical realm. So during the process of death, the portion of our energy that's in the physical body, as it's withdrawing back into the non-physical, there's all kinds of things that can happen that can cause that part of the energy to kind of remain between both worlds. Not quite non-physical, not quite here in the physical. It's like in this in-between state. And spirits that are in that in-between state, most would call a ghost. And the activities they do here in the physical dimension, most would call that a haunting. Really what's happening, it's just a spirit going through its routine that it had when it was fully in a body. It just doesn't know that it doesn't have a body anymore. So when that happens, the spirit's going to remain in between worlds until it works out whatever it needs to work out before it can come fully conscious and be aware that it no longer has a body before it goes back into the non-physical realm. Here's the thing, even though that spirit is kind of still in between worlds, the non-physical part of that spirit can project some new energy into a new life and incarnate into a completely different life while this other part of itself is experiencing the worlds in between. So my point in telling you all this is that the complexities of what happens when we withdraw our energy from this physical dimension are unknown. The possibilities are endless. There are infinite possibilities. And I can only speak on my personal experiences. I'm not going to talk about spiritual theory.
Well, there's a lot that we don't know and a lot that we don't even know that we know.
What if I told you that Jesus was an extraterrestrial? Regardless of the existence of a historical Jesus, the earliest Christians held the belief that he originated from extraterrestrial origins, descending from outer space and later ascending into the stars to maintain communication with them beyond death. In alternative theories, ancient Sumerian tablets have been interpreted to propose intriguing connections between different deities and figures across various cultures. According to these interpretations, Yahweh from the Bible is equated with Enlil from Sumerian mythology, while Ningishida, also known as Thoth, is associated with both Lucifer and Jesus. This line of thinking further links Ningishida to other deities such as Quetzalcoatl, Kukulkan, and Hermes. The serpent, often symbolizing knowledge, is considered representative of Ningishida, and this symbolic association extends to Lucifer and other gods mentioned in these alternative theories. The theories claim that biblical narratives have been manipulated, while Lucifer fought for human freedom and rights. Ultimately, Archangel Michael, sometimes identified as Ra or Marduk, emerged victorious, shaping the course of the future according to these interpretations. This theory proposes that the biblical gods are actually the Anunnaki, and in the Bible, Yahweh refers to them as fallen angels. This assertion is presented as a reference for those seeking correlations within biblical texts. According to Sumerian tablets, the Anunnaki possess the ability to fertilize a female's egg with their DNA without intercourse or the female's knowledge. This concept is used to explain the idea of the Virgin Mary in Christian tradition. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth, identified as Jesus in this context, describe his capacity to live multiple lives in physical bodies while retaining his memories, identity, and consciousness. The tablets suggest that Jesus embarked on journeys to India and Tibet during his lost years to study Buddhism and achieve transcendent meditation, unlocking the true knowledge of his being. It is important to note that these alternative theories diverge significantly from mainstream historical and religious understandings, and they are not widely accepted by scholars or religious institutions. However, within the realm of early Christian communities, an alternative perspective known as Gnosticism emerged, encompassing a diverse set of religious and philosophical beliefs. Gnosticism, with its emphasis on hidden knowledge and spiritual enlightenment, offered an alternative understanding of Jesus and his teachings within early Christian communities. The Gnostic version of Jesus presented a departure from the orthodox Christian views of that time. According to Gnostic teachings, Jesus was seen as a divine messenger or an enlightened being who came to reveal secret knowledge, or gnosis, to humanity. This knowledge was considered crucial for individuals seeking salvation and liberation from the flawed and corrupt material world. Gnostics believed that through acquiring this inner knowledge, individuals could transcend the limitations of the physical realm and attain spiritual enlightenment. Gnostic texts, such as the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Philip, and the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, provided alternative narratives about Jesus and his teachings. These texts emphasize the importance of self-discovery and the inner spiritual journey as means to achieve enlightenment. Rather than focusing solely on external rituals and doctrines, Gnosticism placed significant emphasis on personal introspection and the direct experience of the divine. In the Gospel of Thomas, for example, Jesus is portrayed as a wise teacher who imparts cryptic sayings and engages in profound dialogues with his disciples. These sayings often invite contemplation and self-reflection, urging individuals to look within themselves to discover the divine spark and the hidden truths of existence. The Gospel of Philip explores the concept of a spiritual union between Jesus and his followers, emphasizing the intimate relationship between the divine and the human. It delves into themes of love, rebirth, and the merging of opposites, highlighting the transformative nature of gnosis and its potential to bring about a profound shift in consciousness. The Gospel of Mary Magdalene presents Mary Magdalene as a central figure in Jesus' inner circle, indicating the important role of women in Gnostic thought. This text underscores the significance of Mary's spiritual insights and her deep connection with Jesus, challenging the prevailing patriarchal norms of the time.
What? The idea of Mary conceiving Jesus through the Holy Spirit has never made sense to me. And because that is not what usually happens on ground, so that has always raised doubt. So apparently, not unless there's some other reason that she, or some other way that she conceived Jesus, absolutely not through a Holy Spirit, or maybe the Holy Spirit means someone or something else. But that makes me doubt everything. And also, depending on the kind of miracles that he performed, that also raises doubt that he actually said it himself that he was not from this realm. So that speaks a lot, honestly. That really does. But also the other interesting thing about it is when he talked about us being able to do what he also did. Like he said, whatever I can do, you can also do. Something like that. Can't remember what exactly. And it's so interesting and fascinating that what he said. But most of the time he used metaphor when he's talking. And maybe he translated that to us being able to create our reality and to manifest our own desires, maybe something like that. And we can get literally anything that we want or we put our mind or thought to. So that is quite interesting.
People say the sun is yellow. No, it's not. It's white. If the sun were yellow, just think this through. If the sun were yellow, then in broad daylight, snow would be yellow. But generally, it's not, all right? When the sun sets, its light is heavily attenuated by dust in the atmosphere. These particles in the air scatter blue light out of the sun into the rest of the sky, turning the sky blue. And the more blue light it takes out, the more yellow-red the sun looks. Right. And that's why right on the horizon, the sun is its deepest yellow-red it will ever be. And people say, oh, there's our yellow star. No, it's the sun is white.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so that I stay safe and I can come back and I stay alive, I want to tell you something. I will give you a hint to what he showed me. It's going to happen. And you have to get rid of these metals in your body. And I know exactly how to do it very easily. If you want to do it fast and quick, it would be green drinks. There's something with chlorophyll that has to do with, it matches, it's very close to your blood in its structure. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so you have to have a carrier that will grab things and take them out of your body, okay? So if you want to know what's going to happen, and it could happen tomorrow, it could happen, but they're going to say it's something else. You're going to have to do your own thinking about this. I don't want to get in trouble, but just stick a piece of foil in a microwave and picture that in your body. Because you can't see a microwave, but you can see the results of it when it's present. And you know to not put foil in the microwave because you just do it once, and then you have a fireworks show that the neighbors talk about, because frequencies affect different things. And if something is coming that is intentional, if it hits something that stops it, then it starts to heat up because of resistance. If it can't flow through you, then it starts to cook. And that's what I saw. It's pending. They're going to say it's something else. This is evil. There's all kinds of stuff. They're fighting content on the ground and everywhere. We don't know even how this barium and all this stuff is getting here. It's like dropping out of the sky. It's everywhere. Why all these heavy metals? Where is it coming from? The bottom line is, yeah, I know. Please don't you. We know that. But bottom line is, you got to get this out of your body. They've been developing these weapons with frequencies for a long time. So these frequencies that fry electronics, and they're already. I can't say anything. I apologize, but you just go out and look around where you live, because it's coming. But if there's nothing in you, so Jesus said that the evil one's coming, but he has nothing in me. So that's what I'm trying to tell you without telling you.
Whoa.
So, I mean, this is coming too, and I know half of you probably won't believe it. I'm just believing that you will. But the technology is already here. You need to shield your phone at night. You need to turn it off. You need to shield it and get it away from you. What's coming is advertisements through your phone on the wavelength that your brain can receive it. It's already out. I'm just telling you. You wouldn't even. I mean, I can't say but it's a. You got one right down the street. They're already going to do it. They've already announced it. The technology. They're going to advertise through your phone, and you're going to pick it up here.
Take care of your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is very strong and it picks frequencies whether you're aware of it or not.
The foundation or the basis of African spirituality is the African calendar. Once you understand the African calendar, you also understand the African creation story. You are then able to then connect back to in nature, in Vel.
Please, can you break down the African calendar for us? I'm so glad you put that up. Yes.
Okay.
We've been waiting for you.
Yes. The African calendar is very important for us. This is the calendar that we used before we were colonized, by these Westerners. All along, we've been using a calendar that is based on the Northern Hemisphere. Activities after Christmas and Easter, you are then assisting amadlozi abelungu. You are giving them strength and power to continue, and dominate us. And when it comes to remember, Guti, There's the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere.
Okay.
We are on the southern hemisphere.
Yes.
We're not supposed to be using a calendar that is based on the northern hemisphere.
The climate and
yes.
the seasons are different.
They are different. When it's summer here, it is winter that side. So Tina, when we took all over the continent, there's no country that is aligned with the energy flow of the continent, because all these presidents have been adopted, a Western, calendar and imposed it upon the majority of African people. That is why silokho sithandaza sithi hey uNkulunkulu akasizwa umveli ngani, kanti siguqa ngesikhathi esi-wrong when we're supposed to kneel here on the southern hemisphere, like in New Year yethu. In New Year yethu, it's on the 23rd of September. What does it mean? In terms of science, that is the day of the spring equinox. Meaning, that is when the earth energies reach equilibrium. Yingakho kuthiwa is the equinox. Meaning, day and night are equal on that day. So that from that day, kuqala ilentuza ispring ngapha on the southern hemisphere. So we're getting more light and less, night. Okwamanje kudominate the night. Why? Because the sun is in the northern hemisphere. It will come back on the southern hemisphere. That journey, figure on the 21st of September, the sun officially leaves the northern hemisphere, and it takes 3 days for the sun to transit, through the line of the equator, the imaginary line of the equator. So the 21st, the 22nd, 23rd, it makes 1 degree southwards, which then signifies a new cycle for the southern hemisphere. So a calendar lentuza that we reintroduce, it is based on inzalo yelanga, because inzalo yelanga marks the solstices and the equinoxes.
So then if we had to follow the African calendar, what would that look like? And
Okwamanje, if we are, following the African calendar, we are in the season of the principle called Set. Set is that a principle that governs, but in entropy. Entropy, it means a contained energy, gets released. Do you understand? If let's say, as an example, amanzi that flows from a waterfall, right? That is the energy that is not contained. It's free. It's just, evenly distributed. But then when you put a turbine somewhere down there, we are able to enhance that energy to create electricity, from that flowing water. So we are in that season city, ngesizulu, isikhathi sikambhidlizi, uset umbhidlizi, meaning ukuthi is the principle of chaos. That is why you witness so much chaos. Even, in our country, what is so painful? Uset uza nezifo, July.
Okay.
Uset uza nezifo. Badubula abantu le Eastern Cape, badubula abantu le, and bangena kuma-tavern. Badubula abantu la Orlando. 13 people were dead, is all. I believe nasekatle home. Last year, who said when it was this season, there was this looting that was happening. Meaning, it is the release of a contained energy. It then becomes free. But then the next season, Gamma Art, that is when it is contained and enhanced again, because Art is the principle of order, which then says, Guti, you can never have order without disorder. To understand? Chaos gives birth to order. Yingakho-ke, that is represented ebukhosini. Ebukhosini, inkosi represents order. Yingakho inkosi meyigcotshwa, kumele iyobikela okhokho bakhe ukuthi order has been restored.
Well, according to the African calendar, there are 6 days of the week and not 7. The 6th day being on Saturday. So Sunday was a day that was introduced, I think, by Christianity, and because Africans mostly practice spirituality and not Christianity. It's also so fascinating that this calendar has 13 months and each containing 28 days, just like the cycle of a woman. That is just fascinating.
Let's talk about calendars and how the Ethiopian calendar is different from the Gregorian calendar. Everyone is always asking which one is the correct calendar. And I'm here to tell you that there are about 40 different calendars used today. But all these calendars fall in either of these 4 groups: solar calendar, lunar calendar, lunisolar calendar, and seasonal calendar. Gregorian calendar that is most popularly used in the world today is a solar calendar that tracks the cycle of the sun and live by the rules of masculine energy. It has 12 months that form a year from the 30-day average cycle of the sun. The Ethiopian calendar is a lunar calendar that tracks the cycle of the moon and lives by the rules of feminine energies. And it has 13 months a year from the 28-day cycle of the moon. Lunisolar calendar, however, combines both the masculine and feminine energies. And this calendar is mostly used in Asian countries like China, Singapore, Vietnam, Thailand, etc., to create conducive combinations for both feminine and masculine energies to thrive. Now, the Gregorian calendar that is mostly used in the whole world was introduced by this guy on October 1582. And it was a replacement of the Julian calendar by this guy from the 46 BC. And it was designed by the Greek mathematicians and astronomers like this guy, most of which who studied in Africa.
Going with the Ethiopian calendar is way to go because Ethiopia was the only country in Africa that was not colonized.
Nakakita ka na ba ng isang halimbawa ng ginamitan ng matinding salamang kaukulang? Panoorin mo ang video na ito.
Mama. Oh, nie msiongee. Huyu pokazini huyu.
What? Apparently, the lady was telling her pole, which means sorry, and then the guys were like telling her she was interrupting the doctor. And wow, this is crazy. And actually, the southern side of Kenya, which is Mombasa, has so many cases of people turning into cats. I mean, yo. What is that?
No manches, ve. No mames, ve. ¿Ve eso? Mames, eso está bien cabrón. No manches, pa. No. Mira. Ay, Dios mío. Dios mío. No te pases de lanza. Mira. Oh, no.
You keep on screaming, you're gonna be next.
Ay, Dios mío, ve. No manches, ve. Mira. Ay, Dios mío de mi vida. No te pases de lanza, ve. La bestia. ¿Qué es esa madre?
So nobody thought of asking for help or something. Wow.
All the waters of the earth, the fresh waters, are going to drain. Because since the waters are rising, it's going to suck all the fresh water. That's why Nevada and Las Vegas was out of water at one point, and they have pictures to prove it. All the waterfalls were dried up. So this is a regular cycle. We've been reset like 5 times. This is a natural occurrence. So this is happening right now. So what's happening now with the sun, right? Since this is closing in, the power gets more magnetic. So now this starts getting closer to here, right? So if this is creating a force, right, it's going to draw the sun. So the sun is now, instead of going around, it's going to go like this. Because this is causing a difference in the atmosphere. This is the magnetic north for real. So if that sun, if this gets so close, and this, when this comes down, the sky keeps on getting closer, and the stars. Hello, I'm a stargazer since I was a kid, and now, when I was 15, the Big Dipper was this big in the sky, right? It was that big. Now it's like this, that big, because it's getting closer. This is getting closer. The sun will get closer. The sun will walk on water again. That's the Christ coming around. And this is the cross. When the sun crosses, and it crosses right on the United States somewhere. It's going to cross right here.
No, it's gonna do that April 8th.
Right here.
You heard? On the equinox. You heard, Ruben?
Yes. That's it.
April 8th is gonna be
and then it's gonna come
like
this
that.
way. And then you see what's gonna happen when it comes this way like this. That's when there's 3 days of darkness here. You see? So look, check this out. Check this. It's gonna take its time. It's gonna take about 3 days, and then the light is gonna come and hit it again. And then it's gonna go. And then guess what? The moon, this motherfucker disappear, and now the moon stays circling because it's a new sun. So the moon is going to stay in, and now there's the moon is going to create another moon.
Yo, what? Wow.
So Saudi Arabia just experienced another horrible storm, and they experienced severe flooding, and look what the results were. Fish is falling out of that sky. Why is that fish so soft like that? Fish is falling out of the sky, y'all. What? What is going on? Bro, I just showed y'all a video of something falling out of the sky in Indonesia, and now fish falling out of the sky in Saudi Arabia. Did y'all see the storm in Saudi Arabia though? Look at that, y'all. Oh my goodness. Do you see how powerful that water is? Oh my, bro, Saudi Arabia is getting it. Wow. This is, what a time to be alive, man. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So what do you think happens when those fish fall out of the sky? Because we've seen this a couple of places. We've seen this in Australia, China, I believe Indonesia as well, and now it's happening in Saudi Arabia. So what do you think that's about, y'all? Is the waters above mixing with the waters below? I mean, there's a reason why the sky is blue, you know what I'm saying?
First of all, would you eat that?
The cool people are doing nowadays.
Astral projection.
When it comes to astral projection, there are 3 states in which you can astral project. They talk about the altered states of mind in psychology. That's sleep state, meditative state, and drug-induced. So I didn't want to do drugs. So I decided to do meditation because that's the one I felt like I would have most control. Now, when I first started, I felt like I feared, because you start with meditation, you put the theta frequencies in the back. It's actually very relaxing. But then you find that you move from this conscious state, and it's like something starts taking you. By the time you reach that subconscious state, you feel like you're going. And when you meditate further, right, you feel a vibration, like your body can even shake sometimes. And when you're out, it's like a release. That's what I could say. And yeah, and you can come out and you can even see your body from the outside. Yeah.
Interesting. What are some of those rituals with regards to astral projection that you tried yourself? And when did you discover that they were related to the other world?
Okay, so astral projection is just a practice under New Age. So there are so many other things that I was trying out. I'd done Reiki by that time. I was a seer. I tried psychic work here and there. But I think when I realized it was like demonic in nature is when it was really impacting my mental health, as well as when I started seeing things during these astral projections. Like I would come out, sometimes I see a deceased person, and I was told that it was my own demons that I was encountering. That's because I was part of a Patreon group. So you go there, you watch the videos, there were books, and there was a guy, he owned the Patreon group. You could even go for Zoom sessions with him. So most people who used to report like, oh, I've come out and I've seen deceased people, or I'm hearing voices, or I've encountered demonic entities, they will tell you it's your own demons, that you just need to do more shadow work. But the more it was like, I do astral projection, I come back to reality, right? My mental health is really struggling. And I was like, oh no, I need to come out of this thing. This can't be my own creations of my own mind. There's something more here, yeah.
Personally, did you have a chat with some spiritual being while in the middle of it, and where did you go to? Because I understand it's all about roaming in the spiritual realm, like you mentioned in your TikTok video that did a lot of rounds. Did you have any voices? Did someone talk to you? What did you see?
Yeah, okay. The one experience that I had, I kind of left, it was still an outer body experience. I went to this, I wouldn't say it's like another, let's call it another dimension, right? It had an orange hue. Yeah, it was like a graveyard site with an orange hue. And there was an angel looking down at my grave, right? Like there was literally an angel looking down at my grave.
How do you know it's an angel?
I guess the feeling. It was more of like a feeling, and also the weight, it was like pure white linen, right? And then this was the first time I wasn't in control. You know, most of the times I would just go into my, I astral project around my room, I come into my body, I'm okay. I encounter something strange here and there, but it's okay. This time it was like, I would just come from here, go into another dimension, right? And this time I started hearing satanic voices. I started hearing satanic voices, and I don't even know how I came to. That's when I was like, no. It was a 50-50 chance, and I don't even know how I woke up from that one. So I was like, oh, nah.
How many times did you try this vice? How many times did you attempt it?
I had done it 4 times successfully, right? But still within the practice, I had still encountered funny things like deceased people or hearing demonic entities. But I was told to push through it. The first few times is like that. Most people say that they encounter that. But the more that I did it...
So it's like you had someone separate to guide you through.
Yes, I was guided.
That is absolutely not. I have never at any moment thought of trying astral projection. Especially after watching Behind Her Eyes, I just cannot do it. There's no way I'm doing it. It just creeps me out.
This is the real truth about the Bermuda Triangle. All of the theories you have been told are wrong. There is no curse or aliens or sea monster there that is taking down ships and planes. All these theories have been created purposefully to mislead you. The truth is that the Bermuda Triangle is where all the rockets land that fail to break the firmament. The government has been trying to break the firmament for a while, hence Operation Fishbowl, where they sent nukes up into the atmosphere. We can't leave Earth because of this dome, which is why all the pictures of Earth are CGI. When rockets are shot up into the air, they all curve across the firmament and land in the Bermuda Triangle. The government deliberately created these myths about the triangle to keep people from traveling there and discovering the hundreds of rockets that are supposed to be in space. And if anyone does try to travel there, the military will engage and stop you threatening to attack. This is all just a conspiracy theory, but the evidence is very convincing.
Yo, what? Wow, this is unbelievable. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching up to this far. If you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe so that you can get notified every time I post new videos. And thanks a lot. I'm going to see you onto my next video. Bye.